All right, guys, what is up? So I thought I would just fill you in. So I didn't have time last night. It is actually in the morning. I'm getting ready to service the harvester. But I thought I'd tell you a little bit about our day we had yesterday, which was a record day. And I don't know that it's possible to even hit that record again. We got 216 loads. We did almost 67,000 sacks. We covered about 130 acres. The average yield was around 500. I never got out of my tractor one time to even crawl on my harvester. The only thing we did with any equipment was we changed the primary chain on the crossover. The cellar never stopped. We were in a full cellar, so we never had to change cellars. We had long rows. We're only a mile from the farm. All the conditions basically made perfect conditions. So doing that much, I think that averaged just shy of like 17 trucks an hour. The trucks, I had them weigh some. They average about 310 sacks per truck. So anyways, it was just a record day. 216 loads. I don't think we'll ever hit it again. For digging 10 rows and only running 6 trucks. That's 6 10-wheelers at 216 loads. So that's pretty impressive. We're not one of the farms that, you know, even runs 2 crossovers to run 16 rows, or, you know, 20, 30 trucks and long hauls and crop carts. We don't have a crop cart. You know, there's a lot of things that we could do to speed up. But what's impressive was that new cellar equipment, how it was able to get me the trucks back, and I hardly had to wait. So we were out for a total of 14 hours. But I figure I loaded the last truck at about 9:30, and we probably only, between fixing the primary, I probably waited 10 minutes while we helped him fix the primary on the crossover, and then just waiting for trucks throughout the day, it probably wasn't another, 20, 30 minutes. And so it was ideal conditions. Nothing broke. All the new equipment worked. Everything worked good on the harvester. Now I got to go service it. Taryn's going to trade me off this morning so I can go coach a good kid football game. But again, like, subscribe. We're pretty excited about that record day yesterday. I don't know if that'll be beat again, but thanks for watching, and thanks for hanging in there on all these harvest videos. It's a fun time for us, and we should only have now probably 2.5, 3 days left to go. So anyway, hang in there. Take care. Love you. And like and subscribe. Comment if you have any questions. Thanks. What's up, guys, and welcome out. I think this is day 14. I am in the harvester this morning for a while, so you'll get some footage of the harvester going. We're just opening up a new section, so he's going along with the crossover, and I'll pull in there and we'll start loading trucks. It's gonna be a good morning. All right. Time for some action. Here we go. We're almost done with this field. We just have the short rows left. It's going pretty good. The yields are high. What's crazy is how many acres we dug yesterday. So we had a record day like a week ago, a few days ago. Well, we broke that record already. 132 acres in one day, and it came out to 66,000 sacks of potatoes, which is 6.6 million pounds of potatoes. That is a crazy record day for us. I mean, we know guys, I mean, we're digging, right now we're digging at 4.3, and as it gets warmer throughout the day and the hydraulics warm up, we'll probably get up to about 4.5 to 5. But we know guys who have more crossovers, more harvesting equipment than we do, and we're digging, they can only dig about 60 to 80 acres a day, and we're digging 50 more acres than them. So I don't know, we like to go fast. We go as fast as we possibly can, so harvest doesn't take forever. So we work with what we've got, and we really make it work. But yeah, these rows are really short, but I am able to about load a truck per bend this back a little so you can see that lovely flag. I am able to load a truck per direction, so I can get about 2 trucks per round, which isn't too bad. These aren't yielding, they're probably yielding about 450 sacks to the acre, so not bad. It's about what we were expecting. But everything's going really well. Didn't have any breakdowns yesterday, and we think we figured out what we need to do next year to not have any breakdowns, hopefully most of harvest. We need to make sure we start the year with all new chains. So we'll take all the belted chain off, and we'll get all new ones at the beginning of harvest, and we'll replace all the sprockets. So all new sprockets, all new chains. If we do that, we shouldn't have any issues the entire harvest. Other than, I mean, we couldn't have predicted the tire falling off the crossover. That was one we couldn't have done. But hey, look at that. That truck's full. We're gonna whip around. I'm gonna stop filming because going the other way, the sun is right in the camera and it just doesn't work. So I'll film a little bit in a little bit. All right, we're turning onto the last pass of this field. Then we'll be over there. Just gotta get her in line. It's a good thing this thing has rear steer because it would be hard to turn around if it didn't. We've been cranking them out today. I think we've already got about 25 loads, and it's only 9:30. So today would be on pace to be another over 200 load record day, except for the fact that we have to change cellars today. Because that cellar that I showed you last night, it's a 100,000 sack cellar. Well, we put almost, probably right around 70,000 sacks in it yesterday. So with putting that many sacks in it yesterday, we're definitely going to fill it today. The only thing that would stop us from filling it today would be if we had a huge major breakdown. But you know, that's always a possibility. When you have equipment like this that has so many moving parts and so many little wear parts and so many things that can wear out and break, it's not uncommon to have big breakdowns. That's why it's nice to have a dealership that's close to get parts from. In our case, it's not just the dealer, it's where they make them. Spudnik is made in Blackfoot, and Blackfoot's only 20 minutes from here. So if we need a part, if they don't have it, they can make it for us, because that's where they build all the parts. So it's pretty nice. It's pretty nice. I know our old crossover used to be a Lockwood. So we had a Lockwood crossover before this one. And that's probably been, I want to say this is our 3rd year with this crossover. But our old crossover was also only a 4-row. So it couldn't do quite as much. We used to have a 4-row crossover and a 2-row harvester. But when we went to the 6-row crossover, and Lockwood makes 6 rows too. We've demoed theirs before. But yeah, when we went to the 6-row crossover, just going to the new crossover shortened harvest by 3 days. Now you wouldn't think that that's a big deal, but our operating costs per day, we go through about $20,000 a day running, between fuel costs and repair costs and all the costs of labor and the power to run everything, all the electricity to run all the cellar equipment. In one day, we will use $20,000 just to keep everything up and running. All right, this truck is full. So yeah, when you have costs that high, you definitely want to get good equipment to shorten harvest. All right, we're now in the next field. This truck's about a third full. This field has a big hill that I have to go up. So I can't go quite as fast up that hill. And it's also super, super rocky right here. So we're getting lots of little rocks in the potatoes. Well, we're chugging along. I think I'm about to 30 loads for the day. This field has a pivot, and we had to wait for a minute for the pivot to move before we could start. But we're really rolling now. So this is just a little tiny piece. It's probably only about 20 or 30 acres. But the next field has really long rows. So on that field, we should really be able to crank out the loads because there won't be as much turning around. You guys probably can't hear it, but all I can hear is the rocks bouncing off of all the metal things. Just loading the truck up with rocks. This will be a fun load for the cellar to try and clean. It's like 1 million rocks in it. She's almost full. This is actually my sister driving this truck. I know everybody asks how many family members work on the farm. It's a lot. It's like at least 15 during harvest. We'll get this truck loaded. We have a lot more loads to do. All right, she's done. You a little different angle on this one. So it's now noon and we've loaded 60 trucks by noon, which is pretty crazy. It's been going really well. We haven't had any breakdowns so far. And I imagine the cellar will probably be full in about 3 or 4 hours. So that will slow us down a little bit today, but for the most part, it should be almost another record day. Which if we have 3 more, or actually, if we have 2 more days, like yesterday, we will be done in 2 days. Today and Monday we'll be about done. My guess is we'll probably have a breakdown. I mean, it's kind of inevitable. It happens. Also, we do have to move cellars. So I'm guessing by Tuesday. Today is Saturday. I'm guessing by Tuesday we'll be done, because we don't work on Sundays. It's always a little tricky to turn this thing around at the end, because you have to steer the steering wheel of the tractor, but then you also have to steer the rear steering of the harvester, which is now named Clifford. So we have to steer Clifford around the corner, around the corners, to make sure I don't hit it with the tractor, and also so it doesn't, so it gets in line quicker. So it's always a little tricky. The trickiest part is when we're opening up a new section and you have to turn really sharp. Sometimes I don't know if I'm going to make it or not, but it usually ends up okay. Christopher should be here probably in the next hour or two to trade me back off so I can go finish the vine chopping. I'm almost done. I'm on the last field. I'm actually on the field right across the street from this. That's the last one. I would like to get done, because once I get done with the vine chopping, I can give you guys a cellar tour. Well, we should be in our biggest cellar by then. The last cellar we're going to fill is our biggest, newest cellar. So I plan on giving you guys a tour of that, but I got to get done vine chopping first. So we also don't have any potatoes in there yet. Once we move to that cellar, we'll start to put potatoes in it. And I can take you up. And put you on top of the pile and show you what the top of the pile is. Go walk across the top. So one thing we've kind of noticed with all of our new cellar equipment, with that new piler in particular, the piler is a little bit longer than our old one. So we're able to stack them a lot higher, probably about 2 to 3 feet taller in the cellars than our old one. So the cellar that they're currently in it's a 100,000 sack cellar, but we'll probably put about 110,000 in it because we can stack them so much higher. Because normally we're able to, when that cellar's clear full, we're able to walk across the top of the pile without ducking. There's about 6 foot of room between the top of the pile and the ceiling. But looking at it yesterday, I would have to crawl on my hands and knees to get across there, because it looks like it's only about 4 feet, 3 to 4 feet from the top, which is pretty crazy. But we're gonna keep loading trucks here. I guess yesterday, on that record day, they had 80 loads. They were loading the 80th load at 1 o'clock. So I'm kind of curious how close we'll be to that. Mainly because yesterday, with the field they started in the morning, they had pretty long rows, so they didn't have to stop as much. But today, both this field and the end of that last field, the rows were pretty short. So I'm curious if we'll get, I know we're not going to get 80 loads, but I wonder how close we'll get with these short rows, because we had to move fields and the rows are shorter, so there's a lot more turning around. Like the next field has really long rows, so that field, we should be able to crank out the loads on that field as long as the seller can keep the trucks here, so we're not having to wait out here in the field. As long as we have trucks, we should be able to crank the loads out. All that new cellar equipment has been a game changer. Last year, good night, it took us so long. I think we were lucky if we could get 60 to 80 loads in a day. I think our record day was like 100 loads. Like, that was the most we ever got in a day last year. And now we've gotten well over 100 almost every day. Aside from the few days that we did have some bigger breakdowns.
this field I can tell is yielding pretty good because of how fast I'm able to load the trucks. Gotta turn around, finish getting this truck loaded. Figured I'd give you guys more harvester content because, well, we've only got a couple more days of this. I think at most we're gonna have 2 more days, but we have something in the works that I hope works out. A little surprise for next week. If it works out, you'll see it. If not, I won't bring it up again. But we're working on something. I may have mentioned it in one of the first episodes, so if you've watched all of them, you probably know what I'm talking about already. But we'll keep it a little secret, a little surprise for the next episode or 2, if it actually gets here. It's been pretty good weather. Today is a little windy, but not as windy as the day that the wind broke the flag. Granted, I don't know that it would break this one because of the wooden flagpole. The flag's just up there waving away. Line here. Gotta let my tires straighten out before I back up. Just about full. Come on, you gotta go back. There you go. Sometimes the rear steer on this harvester doesn't like to straighten out, and I'm like digging in the middle of a row. If I'm not paying attention, that could be bad. Alright, we're gonna let him go. Alright, well, I'll probably bring you back when Christopher trades me off and let you know how many loads we got. I got another 40 minutes before 1 o'clock, so we'll clock it in. Christopher's taking the tractor now. It is just after 1 o'clock. We had 65 loads before 1 o'clock. So that's a pretty darn good morning. It's gonna be another, not a record day, but it's gonna be another really good day. Well, it's really windy and I know that there's probably tons of wind in the mic, but I have to show you guys this. Check this out. It's almost a solid wall of dirt. To get into where my grease zerks are. That is really hard. Yeah, I just got done greasing my vine chopper. I went and parked my truck. Now I'm walking down to it. It's clear over there. But this is the field they're in now. So now they're on really long rows. They should be able to get a lot done. But we will see. I don't think we'll get as much done as we did yesterday. Just came into the cellar because I forgot that I told everybody whoever found the biggest potato this week, I'd give them 20 bucks. So we're gonna finish that little competition today. But I thought I'd come see the cellar before I go do that. So let's go see how the cellar's filling up. Well, the potatoes are still rolling in. They just keep on digging, digging, digging. I can see that the front of the piler is right at the front of the cellar. So probably only have 2 or 3 more hours in this cellar at the most. And then it'll be full and we'll have to move. Let's go see. Oh yeah. Not that much left. It's almost full. Only have that much more to fill up. That's quite the pile of potatoes. Josh has a potato. Also, look, it looks kind of like a rock though. So
it identifies.
It identifies as a potato. It's a special potato. Anyway, they're taking out the last conveyor. We're gonna go do the little potato competition. All right, we're doing the little competition, see who has the biggest potato. The heaviest one so far is 4.23 pounds at 12 inches long. Let's see. This one is also 12 inches. And 3.67.
Now that I'm videoing, everybody's quiet.
I think this one might be the biggest, at least the heaviest. Let's see. It's not the longest, it's 11 and a quarter, so. Let's see. 4.57. 4.5 pound potato.
What was this one?
4.2.
Timon, is that your potato? Yeah, this one is mine. That one right there.
Whose was this one?
That was Michael's.
Whoa, Michael.
Didn't you just run out and randomly grab one?
Yeah, 10 minutes left to find one.
This one's the longest so far, 12 and a half inches.
At least you have easy to find. They can see how healthy we feed our crew.
3.78. These are big potatoes. Let's see. Oh, we gotta measure it. 11 and a half. $3.24. This one's pretty long. It looks like it's in pretty rough shape too. Looks like it may have been frozen.
Yeah, it got frozen.
This one is 12 3/8. So Timlin's is the longest.
Timlin.
Right? Where'd Timlin's go?
Right here.
This one, yep.
Whose is that one that you're marking?
Yours?
Colson's, okay. It's a long one.
And it weighs 3.5 pounds.
It's a big potato too.
So these are extra large potatoes. Well, here's the two winning potatoes. This one's the longest, this one's the heaviest. And here's it compared to just a few household things. Roll of paper towels. It is taller than a roll of paper towels. Also, here's like a hammer. It's just a normal hammer. And then like here's a can of glass cleaner. So yeah, these potatoes are, I know when you see them on the conveyor belts, they don't look that big sometimes. So we wanted to find the biggest ones and do some comparisons here. This one weighs almost 5 pounds. It's as big around as that roll of paper towels. There you go. It's the same size as a kid. But yeah, everybody brought out some good potatoes. This one looks like it was frozen a little bit. It's probably been sitting there for a while. But yeah, that was fun. Fun little competition. Okay, I'm back out here, vine beating away. Been out here for a couple hours now, and we're getting another nice sunset. And I just wish there was a few wispy clouds, but you know what? I'll take what I can get. This is the last field. So those power poles over there, just on the other side of those is where we ended. So we didn't plant this entire field, we ran out of seed. But this is the last field. I can't believe that I'm finally here. It took so long to get here. but we are finally here. Sunset's looking nice. Just enjoying the last field. I don't think I'll get this field completely done tonight because the rows are really short over there, and then this field's kind of like a wedge shape. So as it goes that way, the rows get longer. So I'm probably right around halfway done. So I'm not gonna finish it today, but I will get a good chunk of it done. I'll probably have a few hours on Monday to finish it off. But then I will have probably about 2 days that I will be at the cellars, and I can give you guys some tours of the cellars. So you can look forward to that. We also may or may not have a little bit of a surprise next week. We'll see. But I'm just gonna keep on keeping on and get as much done as I can. Well, I can see the harvester and the crossover over there. See if I can zoom in. Doesn't want to zoom very well at night, but that's the harvester and crossover. So they're digging really close together. The reason for that is because the cellar's almost full. So it's about 8 o'clock, 8:30-ish, and when the cellar gets full, it's gonna take the rest of the day to change cellars. So they don't wanna have a whole bunch of potatoes dug out in the field that are gonna sit over the weekend or over Sunday, because we don't work on Sunday. So yeah, they're digging close. So the cellar must be really close to being full. Once it's full, we'll go in and help move cellars. Well, I came back to the cellars to help them move. They're just getting things moved around. They've already got the cellar closed up. So I was hoping to get here before they closed it up so I could show you the front. So we'll just go inside. We can walk in front of the pile. So this is what the front of the pile looks like. So these cellars, they're newer, but we have some new, like the one we're moving to is newer than this one. This one has a big metal pipe in the middle, and then it just has these logs, and that's what holds it. There's all the taters. That's what almost 11 million pounds of potatoes looks like. It's a lot of potatoes. I want to climb up here. That's a lot of potatoes. They got it filled all the way up. They're even touching the little condenser over here. But it's so close to the ceiling up there that I don't think I can even walk up there. But yeah, this cellar is supposed to hold 10 million pounds or 100,000 sacks. Now, we typically overfill them, so I'm guessing this is probably closer to 110,000 sacks and probably about 11 million pounds of potatoes. So if you ever wanted to know what 11 million pounds of potatoes look like, there you go. It's a lot of French fries. Now we're back out here. I got to get the piler has to go in first. So we got to get this around, and we're not going into this cellar. This is the one that's broken. We're going around to the very back. Say it's broken. I'll have to show you during the day sometime. Right here, all the way along the side, there's a crack. It's about 2 inches wide, and it keeps getting bigger and bigger every year. And when you stand right here, and you can kind of see it in the dark, it's bulging right there. So this cellar, we don't really want to put potatoes in here. We will if we have to, but it's on the verge of falling down. We're probably gonna have to tear this cellar down in the next year or two, or it's just gonna fall down. Well, we're going slow and steady. That's the cellar we're moving into back there. That's actually our newest, nicest cellar. We put it back behind all the other ones. But we're getting there. This thing's a little bit faster than the sorter table at least. Now we're moving the even flow bin back. We only have, I think, 200 feet of cord for this, and it's hardwired in over here. So that's the only place we can plug it in. And I'm a little worried we're not gonna have enough cord to get it all the way back to where it needs to be. So we'll see if all the conveyors can get it far enough forward that we don't have to try and plug it in somewhere else. All right, well, we've almost got it in the cellar. We're working on it. We're gonna need all of our conveyors because we have to go from here out all the way up to where the even flow bin is because that's how much cord we have. So we're gonna have to use all of our conveyors this time. Just trying to get all the way to the back. There's boards in the back that there's actually a door in the back of most of these. So you could take them out from the back if you have like a rotten spot. And then that right there, that angle, there's a stairs right there. So once you get it full, you can come up and check your spuds. The stuff is slow. We're almost there. We just have to put the boom all the way out to the corners and then drive forward until it's almost touching the wall. And then it's good.
Maybe suck it in just a little bit.
Put the downriggers down so it won't tip over. And they're just setting up the vent pipes for the first few vents. Then we have to pull in and get all these conveyors lined up. 2 conveyors set up. We have probably 5 or 6 more to put out there. All right. So we've got them coming out and then off this to the side. Now we're gonna get our little 20-foot one. And we'll put it across and then put the sorter table here, even flow right there. The little one's the easiest one to move because, well, it's shorter. It also has little skinny tires which tend to work better. You see all the blinking lights of those stinking windmills. Alright, now the sorter table's moving. It takes longest because it's so slow. Got the sorter table moving. We gotta back it up against that straight one over there. What should we name this thing? We called the old one Sid, but this one I swear is slower than the old one. Sid the Sloth was the old one. Should we just call this Sid the Sloth as well? Because it's basically the same. Or should we call it Flash, like the sloth character from Zootopia? What do you guys think?
It's so slow.
It is so slow. Get this backed up, sorter table's in position. That's good. Now we'll lift the hopper up a little bit. Oh yeah, we gotta lift these jacks, put these jacks down, level and stabilize, and it should be good to go. In the back, we have the back set up just right. Everything's barely fitting. Got 2 inches there. Got an inch or 2 underneath. Should be good to go. We'll get the rest of this set up on Monday. We're gonna go home. All these cellars are on sucking in this nice cool outside air to cool them down. But this one, no green light. So this one's off. They just went in there to try and figure out why it's not turning on. Okay, well, it's on. But those louvers are up, which means it's not fully outside there, so I'm not sure what's going on there. Nice big pile of potatoes. It's hot and muggy in here, so we definitely need it running so we can cool everything down. take off and go home. Today was not a record day, but it was our second best day. We got 166 loads today, so we did a lot. I imagine in about 1.5 days we'll probably be about done. So I love you guys, and I'll see you in the next one.